playing a Steamkin against an opponent who can play the Chain Whirl the next turn if you don't have another red card to follow up with.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's game.
Ding, 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 ding.
That is game.
With both players at 20.
Calling it.
Yeah.
We're going to game 2.
Okay.
If Gaieski has land 4,
if he has land 4,
we're going to game 2.
Okay. Well, we'll see if Gaieski is putting a premium on that card as much as you are.
Yeah, because it's game over.
Yeah,
it's game over.
He is. Yep, there's Experimental Frenzy. So his hand, that's done. Well, no more cards from hand, but now he just gets to play off the top of his deck.
He's playing it at 20.
Yep.
It's not, I mean.
Light up the stage there. Chain Whirler, trigger, hit light up the stage off a Spectacle, reveal Lightning Strike, and a Mountain. Now, I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it was kind of just like, do you shoot the face? Do you shoot the creatures? How do you feel about game planning here? I understand that the game is like most likely over at this stage, or at least heavily favorable for Ethan.
You cannot, if you're in Gaieski's perspective, you cannot you cannot lose a game that goes long. So just protect yourself at all costs.
Okay. Get to Lava Runner and a Lightning Strike here from Will. Means that Gaieski's at 14, and Pulliam's just going to pass the turn back. Gaieski's going to Wizard's Lightning there on the upkeep. That's what that is. Now he draws a card. He'll play a Mountain off the top of the deck, and he'll pass the turn back.
Because if Pulliam is able to win this game, it's just going to be burning him out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be about managing the battlefield at all. So Gaieski should just focus on keeping his life total high.
There's a little hit there from Fanatical Firebrand. Gaieski's going to fall down to 13. And now here's Skewer the Critic. So it is a burnout plan. We'll worry about the deck list later. Mountain. Shock. Viashino Pyromancer, trigger, down to 18. Wizard's Lightning's going to go upstairs.
Yeah, there's no point from Pulliam's perspective of trying to trade with any of Gaieski's cards. You've just got to burn out.
There is a Runaway Steamkin. I mean, it's possible for Gaieski to lose in this spot, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's at 7 against a card in hand. You know, he's got to turn on the pressure here. Now the question is, if you're Pulliam, what could be on the top of his deck? If it was a Mountain, he would have played it. The most likely scenario is the top card of his deck is Light Up the Stage. We'll see how that informs Pulliam's block.
Okay.
Because anything else would just get cast.
Oh, nailed it. Here comes Light Up the Stage.
And I said that Pulliam should try to avoid, trading off with cards here. But it's a little bit different here because he has no reason to believe that Pyromancer is ever going to be able to hit on the way back. So you might as well, if you get an extra draw step out of blocking, then great.
Light Up the Stage, Experimental Frenzy, how do those work?
You can play. They're good.
Okay.
You can just play those cards.
Okay.
They don't interfere with one another.
Mountain. Next card. Pyromancer, trigger, Steamkin. Look at the next one. Pulliam falls down to 16. Those lands are exiled from Light Up the Stage, at least for now. And we go back over to Will. Can he finish the burnouts?
7's a tough number to get to if you don't have risk factor in your deck. It's 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And now with Runaway Steamkin, Gaieski should be able to
really go.
The only thing that can bottleneck him is 2 Mountains in a row, and even that's not really true because he can sacrifice the Experimental Frenzy and start playing out of his hand.
Okay. Well, there's a land.
And you can see he's separating 4 mana here, and I'm wondering if Gaieski, if there's another Mountain on top of the deck, if he's going to sacrifice Experimental Frenzy, he'll have 4 Mountains left over, plus he'll be able to play through the Runaway Steamkin. So he has access to effectively 7 and possibly 10 mana, depending on how cheap his hand is here. And I'm assuming that he's bricked off here on the Experimental Frenzy because he would just keep going if there was anything he could cast. Maybe you take a pause under normal circumstances, but when you have Runaway Steamkin, you just can't be choked on mana.
He looks a little hesitant to break this.
Well, you either can keep going or you can't, and if you can't, then you got to keep going this way.
Well, here's Chain Whirler. Cast trigger. Steamkin's going to go up to 3 counters. And he's got a lot of cards in his hand.
I mean, if he's got enough 1-mana spells, then they're essentially free because you get a mana back once you hit the 3rd spell with the Steamkin.
Mm-hmm. Skewer the Critics, Gaieski Lava Runner in hand, Experimental Frenzy in hand, Lightning Strike as well. If you're Fanatical Firebrand, are you going at Ethan or are you going at the Steamkin?
I don't think that Pulliam can win this game with Gaieski at 7. You've got to get him down to 6 and give yourself a shot of having 2 3-damage spells finish the game out.
Okay, well, triple red now. There's Gaieski Lava Runner.
And now with the second Steamkin, he may be able to play his whole hand.
Mm-hmm. There's Skewer the Critics. Trigger on the stack.
So we had a little bit of a hiccup there, but 6 to 4 doesn't really matter that much in that spot. It's 2 spells.
Okay.
So it's the same thing. It would be different if Pulliam had Risk Factor in his deck, but I don't believe he does.
Well, we'll take a look at Will the Thrill's deck list. He's got risk factor in the board.
Yeah, not me.
Yep. 3 in the board. So how crazy can we go?
Well, Gaieski's got to try to see if there's any path to lethal damage this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pulliam's sitting on 1 card. He's just been playing the mountains he's been drawing.
Doesn't have to be fearful of a haste threat.
Yeah, he's got blockers
creatures in the back.
So this is 8 damage coming across here.
Yep.
Does he have 4 points in his hand? Does not appear so.
Oh,
all right.
Boy. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Is Will going to peel to win? Wow. Wow. Wow.
Got it.
That is nuts. Will Pulliam is going to win game number 1 here over Ethan Gaieski. Going to steal a game against Experimental Frenzy, which is extremely difficult to do.
Well, the thing that helped Pulliam there was Gaieski played a turn for Experimental Frenzy, and Pulliam had really nothing to do with creatures for the remainder of the game. The board is not manageable once that happens, but sometimes Experimental Frenzy is slow enough that if you put together enough lava spikes, you can win the game that way, and Pulliam was fortunate enough to do exactly that.
Well, we're going to go to the sideboards here. We're going to start with Ethan Gaieski, who's maybe a little shell-shocked that he lost that game. 4 Lava Coils, 3 Risk Factor, 2 Rekindling Phoenix, 2 Direfleet Daredevil, 2 Tibalt, Rakish Instigator, a Mountain, and his own Chandra. Certainly doesn't have as many as Will has.
So I really like Risk Factor in the mirror match. I would bring that in. I have not played with Tibalt yet. I assume that it lines up too poorly against Goblin Chain Whirler to be good in the matchup, but possible if you just want to play a deeper game, you consider bringing that in. I'm not a fan of Rekindling Phoenix. Other people are. I think Direfleet, Daredevil, and Chandra are both easy to justify.
Other side of things here for Will, he's also got 4 Lava Coils and 3 Risk Factors, the 2 Tibalts, the 2 Rekindling Phoenixes, and 2 Direfleet Daredevils. So their sideboards are very different, very similar, and then 2 Legion War Bosses is where the differences are.
Right. So, I like to bring in the Risk Factors, and then it's the same questions. I think Legion War Boss is not good in the mirror match, just dies to too much stuff. The Tibalts, Rekindling Phoenixes, and Direfleet Daredevils are all reasonable options to consider.
Well, those are the options there for both players, and game number 2 will be underway here in just a moment, but we do want to talk about the next playmat. That is coming out in the StarCityGames.com Creature Collection for the Core Set 2020 pre-release exclusive playmat here. Ask your local game store to sign up today. You can go to go.starcitygames.com/pre-release for more information. A little Pervana. You get it? You get it. Pervana, Nirvana. No, you're no selling?
No, I get it.
Okay. I thought that was like the hard no sell by you.
No, I mean, I get it. I just,
This is modeled after Todd Anderson's cat, Jaeger.
Oh, well, that definitely changes the context for me.
Oh, you're into it now.
I don't know his cat that well.
Sweet cat. His name's Jaeger. And you know Todd.
Do
you think Todd's going to have a cat named Fireball soon, or how's that going to work?
Go.sarcygames.com/pre-release.
Game number 2 between Ethan Gaieski and Will Pulliam.
It's not that I didn't get the joke.
Okay. As I said, you were no selling the joke. I
wish that when someone didn't laugh at a joke, the other party's response was not immediately to go, "Oh, they must have not understood it. That must have been the confusion."
Yeah. So, do you think that I know that you know that I know that you hate that? How do you think this works?
Definitely.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It's all one bit, I know.
It's all
one big bit.
It's all
right?
one big joke.
Right.
Is what it is, with layers.
Right.
We need to get you a big cowboy hat.
How come?
Just
because I live in Colorado now?
No, just the big cowboy hat like Norm Macdonald's. Big hat. See, it's funny. Whenever I tell joke. Let's get you one of those. Like, I think you would look great in an oversized cowboy hat.
That sort of fashion sensibility runs very deep on my father's side of the family.
Yeah, it does.
I have access to a lot of cowboy hats.
But I'm talking real big.
I grew up in a town of 160 people, and it was close.
But that's crazy.
It was close to a town. It was kind of inside. It was an unincorporated community inside of a town of several thousand people when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my family on my father's side lived there, kind of in the same area. And many of them found it to be too crowded, and they moved to Montana.
With 160 people?
Yes, they were like, this is too many people.
Really?
Yes.
That is strange to me.
A lot of, I don't know. I'm not here to say what's too much for who.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
To each their own.
There's been times in my life where if I rolled up to a place that said population 1, I'd be like, too crowded.
Yeah, I'm out.
Can't risk it.
Yeah, I get that.
But, so that sort of gear is afforded to me. I wait for this match maybe to get underway. Hopefully there's a mulligan. We can talk about it a little bit more.
Hoping for someone to mulligan.
Yeah. Let's get a mulligan.
And their chances to win decreasing.
Well, no, because it could be Will, and then we're more likely to go to Game 3, which would be nice.
All right, we're underway. No mulligan.
Then we'll have to wait.
No more story time for you. Mountains for both players. It's a mountain here for Gaieski, and a creature that might be dying to shock. No, the Runaways team can live for now. A mountain there for Will Pulliam. And there's a lightning strike to take care of that. Heading back to Gaieski now, we will. 3-mana spell, Chain Whirler. Pulliam down to 19. These decks don't play a ton of lands, but they're pretty good at hitting their land drops because of things like light up the stage and stuff, I would imagine.
They're at, they range from 19 to 21, 18 to 21, I guess, depending on how up the curve you're going and what your sideboard cards are. Light up the stage helps a lot. The fact that you really only have one 4-mana card in the deck helps a lot.
First strike creatures will trade. Rekindling Phoenix is a large bird.
Okay.
Big bird. 2 of those in the sideboard here for both players.
So it's typically, I think, pretty bad to bring in Lava Coil in the mirror match. So this requires 2 cards, except that's not exactly the case all the time.
Well, take that.
Okay, whatever.
Take that. take that.
Whatever.
Take that, tough guy.
Whatever.
Yeah. Chain Whirler. That's right, 18. Have you played Magic Arena? Where the Chain Whirler animation comes up?
No.
There's a bunch of chains just fly on the screen. It's pretty dope. All right, well, big bird. We'll see if Gaieski brought in Lava Coil. That's your avatar, so you probably didn't bring him in.
I like Direfleet Daredevil on Pulliam's Lava Coil here.
I'm in favor.
That would be nice.
I'm in favor of that. Daredevil, pretty good mirror card, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Yep, Daredevil Lava Coil. All right, so Rekindling Phoenix isn't the end-all, be-all at all. There are answers.
Yes.
There are answers, yeah.
Lava Coil, your opponent's Lava Coil,
yep,
and others.
Chain Whirlia, take care of the old Direfleet Daredevil. Now we're going to go to the stage, light it up. It's a Mountain and a Lightning Strike there for Will. He'll play the Mountain, pass the turn back over to Ethan. Ethan will draw. These red mirrors are maybe more intricate than people think.
Yep, it's a weird. It shifts from card advantage to life totals and back and forth in that way, pretty fluidly. There's no counters, no discard, no life gain. So even when you're, as we saw in Game 1, even with Gaieski being really far ahead, you don't have any cover against lava spikes, and sometimes that's just how the game breaks.
Well, Gaieski got in there with the Chain Whirler, and Will actually didn't want to trade this time, so he took 3, and now he's going to come in with his Chain Whirler.
Yeah, with the Lightning Strike sitting there from the light up the stage, you kind of want Gaieski to have a target.
Yeah, it's the face. Strike the face, which I think Will just did. I think.
That seems wild to me, to attack with a Chain Whirler first and then spike the face.
All right, he's targeting Chain Whirler.
Yeah, okay.
We just got confirmation.
Okay.
All right. Looks like Ethan has a few shocks in hand right now.
I like to get busy too. Don't get me wrong.
I know you do. I know you do.
That's too busy.
Shock is going to take care of the Steamkin. That exchange is all done, and we're going to head back over to Ethan. Is there an Experimental Frenzy waiting? There's a Lava Coil. All right, so he brought some in too. Lava Coil will take care of the Chain Whirler. Let's go back over to Will now. That is a Chandra. The Planeswalker can run away with the game potentially, and it's up to 5. There's a Gia 2 Lava Runner, not bad. That is shockable, though. The problem with Chandra is, you can't kill it.
No, it's just slower than Experimental Frenzy.
It is.
But, yeah, you can't engage with it.
No.
No chance.
All the games that I watch Will play, I'm just like, oh, yeah, they can just, never mind. No, they can't.
Right.
No, they can't. Chain Whirler. And that means that Chandra's ultimate in this kind of matchup is almost certain to hit, right?
If you can go on for that amount of time, but
and not get burned out,
Gaieski is down to just shock in hand. I mean, Gaieski is now just at Experimental Frenzy or bust.
Yep, he just drew a Mountain. I think he's got 1 turn left to get to it. This card has really impressed me.
Yep.
It really has, because a lot of the way that people are dealing with Planeswalkers right now, if you're not playing Vraska's Contempt, is attacking it. You can't attack this.
No.
Direfleet Daredevil is going to go after the graveyard. You see the -7, which is going to be threatened here very soon, which is exile the top 7 cards of your library. You may play them this turn, but that also deals your opponent 7 damage because Chandra loses those loyalty counters.
Yes, I believe that the combination of Searing Flesh and Wheel of Fortune will be enough for Will to take the game next turn if we get there, but I suppose we shall wait.
More export commentary from one Patrick Sullivan at Basic Mountain on Twitter. This is a shock. Light up the stage is going to cost 1. Maybe there's somewhere we can get to here. It's going to be pretty darn tough, though. Frenzy, Mountain. Frenzy showed up late. Gotta cast it. I think it's too late, though.
Yeah, I mean, the hope is that you can Chain Whirler and keep Chandra off the ultimate, but it's just not happening.
It's not happening. Will Pulliam was going to win this game and match over Ethan Gaieski 2-0. The South Carolina native is moving on to the finals with maybe the most innovative red deck list here. He felt very strongly about Chandra Fire Artesian. 4 copies in the main deck. First of all, that's notable because, 1, you could play Risk Factor. You could play Experimental Frenzy. Second, it's a Planeswalker at